So today we will discuss the last topic of this chapter, that after the 14th century, what crisis took place in Europe. So what kind of social unrest was there, that we have already discussed, and now we will discuss next what political changes took place thereafter. First of all, in the 15th century and 16th century, European kings strengthened their military and financial power. They created powerful states. Why their financial power was increased? It's because now they were getting the taxes from the rich merchants also. As a result, his source of income was also increased, and this led to what? This led to more economic resources for the king, and with the help of that economic resources, now he was able to make a powerful army, because he was having enough resources right now. So that strengthened the king, and king became powerful. And the power of the king was resulting that now they can easily control the nobles, rebel who used to be there against him, and the powerful rulers like Louis XI, who was in France, and Maximilian, that was in Austria, and Henry VII, that was again in England, and Isabella and Ferdinand, they were in the Spain. So these used to be the absolute ruler, and they used to control their lords very effectively with the help of their army, because now they were not merely dependent on the nobles, rather their source of income was also coming from the taxes which was coming from different cities. The merchants and the traders were also depositing the tax to the royal treasury. Started the process of organization, standing armies. Permanent bureaucracy was there. Earlier the bureaucracy was not permanent. Rather, the lord was dependent on the nobles for his administration. But now he started employing the permanent bureaucrats, and they could do more effectively work as compared to the nobles who used to be there earlier. National taxation was also started, which used to be there on the trade, internal trade as well as the external trade. And in Spain and Portugal began to play a role in Europe's expansion overseas. At that time, the two major naval powers emerged in Europe. One was the Spain and second was the Portugal. And they started expanding their empire, and they started making their colonies. So in this way they started making the colonial empire. Like Spaniards later on went to Caribbean island, then the South America, Mexico, they all were under their control. Portuguese found an alternative route to India. Thereafter they also set up their colonies in Africa as well as in Brazil. So in this way they started creating a colonial empire, and the income to these kings were also coming from these colonies. As a result, feudalism started weakening. Then, what was the major changes took place in the empire? Now the king was having a powerful army. He was having the gunpowder as well as the cannon. The invention of gunpowder was taken place in China. Thereafter this technology also went to Europe, and now they were having the better guns, muskets. With the help of that they can easily control their enemies. Decline of feudal structure, because new urban culture was created, and that resulted in the decline of the feudal culture. They also organized the taxation, and permanent bureaucracy was there who used to collect the taxes. And suppression of the feudal lords. Now feudal lords started revolting against the ruler, against this new system, because they are becoming powerless. But their revolt was suppressed by the powerful ruler with his army. So now their nobles became much weaker, and they could not revert back to the old time which they wanted to go after the 14th century crisis. Lords changed as the supporter, but when lords made a lot of effort to revert back to the old time, they could not do so. As a result, they took a wise decision. Instead of the rebels against the ruler, now they became the dead supporter of the ruler, and those nobles who became the supporter of the ruler, they were also given power by the ruler, and they were also made bureaucrats in different parts of the empire. In this way they again started controlling the administration, but that was in a new way. Growth of money-based economy was there. Struggle between the king and the parliament. It happened in some countries like England. There was a struggle between the parliament and the king. But in France, this kind of system was not there. Like here we will compare the two situations of the two countries after the 14th century crisis. Number one is France and second is England. That what major changes took place after the 14th centuries in these two countries. In the reign of the child King Louis XIII of France in 1614, a meeting was held for the French Consultative Assembly. It was known as the Estates General. Within the three estates, orders, clergy, nobility and the rest. So there were three estates, as we have read in French Revolution also, that there were three estates. First two estates were not supposed to give any tax. These were also called first two orders, and their vote was individual vote, and their value of individual vote is 1. But on the other hand, there was the third estate, and majority of people used to come under the third estate. But their value of the vote was very less. The entire estate was having only one value of vote. So major decision in the Estates General used to be in the favor of the first two estates, first two orders, nobles and the clergy. Then it was not summoned again for next 2 centuries, means 200 years after again the Estate General was called, and generally the major decisions of the country used to be taken in the Estate General, and this tradition started in the reign of Louis XIII. Then again it was reassembled in Louis XVI's reign in 1789. And why it was reassembled? Because at that time the financial condition of the country was not good, and they wanted to impose a new kind of tax. That's why it was recalled after 200 years. But when it was recalled, there was a lot of protest against it, and finally it led to the French Revolution. And after the French Revolution, France became a republic, it became a democracy. So in this way, the course of the political history of the France was changed from monarchy to democracy. On the other hand, in England, the Anglo-Saxons had a great council which the king had to consult before imposing any new tax, and this council was a kind of parliament. This developed into what was called the parliament, which consisted of the House of Lords and the House of Commons. Earlier there was only House of Lords, where the lords of different manors used to be the part of House of Lords. Major decisions of taxes and other things used to be taken by them. But after 14th century, due to the pressure by the other people, a House of Commons was also there, where common people were having their representatives. King Charles was executed and republic was set up, but again it was overthrown and monarchy was re-established. So King Charles was killed, and as a result in England, like the France, there was also a republic government set up, but it could not long last. Finally it was overthrown and monarchy was re-established. As a result, due to this historical condition, England is still following the monarchy, but in France it is a republic kind of government, democratic kind of government. The Queen is the head of England right now, but in France the elected president is the head of the France. So that is a change between these two countries, because this change took place in the history, and it was in the period of 14th century. So that's all for this chapter. Thank you.